do you know about Wakanda?
Yeah, what do we know? For one, it's jaw-droppingly beautiful, the most technologically advanced nation on the planet, and home to the Black Panther. In the immense world of Marvel, Wakanda is a small, isolated nation in Northeast Africa. But don't let the small size fool you, the Kingdom of Wakanda is an extremely significant setting in both the comics and the MCU. We will finally get to visit Wakanda when Black Panther drops in theaters, but there's no way the movie can cover everything. Let's spend the next few minutes exploring the history of Wakanda. Before this history lesson begins, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we have a ton of Black Panther coverage for you. Check out our Who the Hell Is series and our video review of the film. And after you see it in theaters, make sure you come back for our spoiler talk. Centuries ago, before it became known as Wakanda, the land was home to the originators, who were all sorts of species of mythical beasts. Those included the lizard-like Simbi, the Vanyan, more resembling apes, the arachnoid Anansi, and the creeping Doom, which sounds like a horrible rash. Eventually, humans were drawn to Wakanda's sacred soil and actually lived peacefully with the mythical creatures for a little bit. The humans quickly abused the region's natural resources, as humans tend to do, and the originators weren't having it. From the heroes of the humans rose the gods of Wakanda, called the Orisha. One of these gods was named Bast, the Panther god, which you've probably heard of before.
Which side of the road is it?
For Bast's sake, just drive.
Okay, calm down.
Together, the humans and the gods defeated the originators and banished them for good. It was on this land where Wakanda would be built, and the Orisha would become its guardians. Many years later, Wakanda was home to a handful of primitive human tribes. Legend has it that a gift from the gods fell from the sky. In fact, it was a massive meteorite made of an extraterrestrial mineral. This would later become known as vibranium, the rare and energy-absorbing metal that was used to make weapons such as Captain America's shield and T'Challa's suit. And in case you're wondering, vibranium is worth roughly $10,000 per gram, and Wakanda's sacred stash is thought to have about 10,000 tons of it.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
Truly a gift from the gods, but there was an unfortunate side effect. The radiation from the meteorite turned some of the locals into demon spirits. Not good. Bashanga, one of the region's mightiest warriors, prayed to Bast to give him the strength to defeat the demons. Bashanga triumphed and became the first Black Panther in history, uniting all of the tribes under one Wakanda. Another consequence from this gift from the gods affected the surrounding wildlife, specifically the heart-shaped herb, which is ingested by Black Panthers in training. See, a wannabe Black Panther must defeat the current Black Panther, then fight off 6 of Wakanda's greatest warriors all at once, complete several other tasks to prove worthiness, and finally, ingest the mutated plant. In some of the comics, you didn't ingest it, you just rubbed the plant's juices all over your body as a moisturizer.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Only those that were worthy or noble would survive this part. In fact, one time in the books, Eric Killmonger was poisoned and near death when he tried this. Killmonger was forced to use a synthetic version of the herb because he couldn't handle the real stuff. Now those that succeeded took the title of Black Panther and gained enhanced speed, agility, strength, and endurance. You're basically a super soldier, which is why T'Challa can go head to head against Captain America and barely break a sweat.
Move, Captain. I won't ask a second time.
The radiation also mutated gorillas in Wakanda, becoming the albino white apes. Much like the heart-shaped herb, their flesh had powerful effects for those who consumed it. Followers would call themselves the White Gorilla Cult, who worshipped the ape god. They were outlawed in Wakanda and settled in the neighboring Jabari village. One of T'Challa's greatest enemies in the books was Mbaku. He believed he deserved the throne, so he killed one of these rare white apes, bathed in its blood, and ate its flesh, thus becoming the powerful man-ape. Disgusting. It's true, the vibranium meteorite ultimately brought the Kingdom of Wakanda together, but it also attracted greedy outsiders eager to reap the benefits of Wakanda's wealthy resources. One in particular, the scientist Ulysses Klaw, one who we will see once again on the big screen in Black Panther. He attempted to seize some of Wakanda's valuable vibranium. T'Challa's dad, T'Chaka, the former Wakandan chief in Black Panther, opposed Klaw's assault, but T'Chaka perished in battle against Klaw and his mercenaries. Prince T'Challa led the Wakandan forces in war and were able to drive the outsiders away, starting his own legacy as Black Panther. It should come to no surprise that the majority of Wakanda's history was one of isolationism. Makes sense for a tribal and prideful nation with one of the world's most valuable resources on its soil. That changed with T'Challa, who tried to balance the traditions of the past with the growing pressures of modernization. The kingdom first opened its doors when T'Challa invited the Fantastic Four into his country. He did so in order to test his own might as a warrior, hunting and fighting each one of the members individually. T'Challa didn't see the Fantastic Four as enemies, more like preparation for the real battle against Klaw.
We're talking about practice, man.
Luckily, the Fantastic Four forgave him for this sparring session and they joined T'Challa in the real fight against Klaw. Now, it might not seem like that's a big deal, but it was extremely significant. It was the first time a Black Panther was open to assistance from outside of Wakanda. It wasn't long until Wakanda again came under the spotlight when T'Challa was welcomed into the Avengers as its first black member. Not only was T'Challa challenged with the responsibilities as a king at home, but also across the world. Unsurprisingly, this caused a ton of internal and external conflict. He was juggling multiple responsibilities, as an Avenger and as King of Wakanda. Many native Wakandans questioned what happened to their country and the leadership of their increasingly absent king. Eventually, T'Challa was forced to reveal his secret identity to the entire world, thus putting Wakanda on the map for good. So where exactly on the map are we talking? Well, it's kind of vague because it's supposed to be secretive. In some books, Wakanda is said to be between Ethiopia, Uganda, and Kenya. From what we've seen in the MCU, Wakanda can be found in pretty much the same place. Wakanda was highlighted on this map in Iron Man 2, and then in Captain America Civil War, it was shown to be in the northern end of the fictional Lake Turkana.
You know, if they find out he's here, they'll come for him. Let them try.
All you need to know is, if you're planning a trip there, I hear the capital Birnin-Zana, aka the Golden City, is an excellent choice to fly into. Thanks guys, obviously Wakanda plays a huge role in Black Panther, but we'll also head back there for Avengers Infinity War. If you enjoyed this history lesson, let me know in the comments below, and also come back for our spoiler talk after you've seen the movie.
Vibranium. It came at great personal cost. It's worth billions.